Okay, part three, wrapping this three-part series up on how to get missed visits. We're gonna last column that we're dealing with here is the weak missed visits. So that one is one that I usually color in red with black font there. Okay, so now we're gonna go over to the weak commitment column, and this is just like any other one. We're gonna click the drop down, uncheck blanks, so we only show stores that were committed as a weak store. Uh, Click OK. Now for the actuals, again, do the opposite. Unselect everything because these are all where visits were made. You're looking for visits that were not made. So you're going to go to blanks and check that. Click OK. Now the only thing you have on the screen here are stores that were committed as weak stores that have not been done yet. So we're going to go back over here, highlight those stores all the way down. Easy peasy. There's probably a lot of them. All right, color those red just like you would anything else. Go back over here and your weak visits left. Put a 1 there. Color that red. Same thing. Copy it and drag it down. Seems repetitive, but like I said, there's a good reason for it. All right. And last, the district manager column. We're going to color those red as well. That's so we can filter out. Well, you'll see. The next step that we're going to do actually shows you why we do this. So make that red. Now, that is everything for all of your columns here. You've got everything for that you need to show your missed visits and the other data through the week. So take the filters off again just to make sure you have everything clean, and we're going to put them back on. I do this a lot to make sure I don't forget that, leave something filtered that doesn't need to be. It'll absolutely screw the entire report up if you do that. So that's why I do that a lot. All right, now, the only thing we have left to do now is to package this up in a way that it can go out to the supervisors and to Kyle and the district managers, rather, and look neat and presentable and not, as I call it, hard to look at. So, what we're going to do is, and the reason why we made the district manager names colored and with different colors that we use over to the right is for this reason. So I want to get rid of everything now that doesn't have a color because all of those colors represent something. Yellow represents a missed visit. Orange represents a short punch. Red represents a weak missed visit. Um, so now everything that is not colored means it's done, good to go, and there's no reason for us to mess with it. So let's get rid of it. So click the drop down for the division or the district manager column or row column rather, and we're gonna use filter by color, and we're gonna go down and we're gonna select no fill. So that's selecting everything that we didn't put a color on. Now I'm gonna highlight all the way across there, and I'm gonna click on my keyboard Shift and then End, and that's gonna well, hold on a second. Shift End and then my down arrow. Well, this is not working for me. Well, I'm not redoing this video, so I'm gonna find out why this is not working. Maybe it's because I have an incoming email. Okay, Shift, End, and then the down arrow will take you to the bottom of all of those on the screen that don't have color. So I'm just gonna right click and delete row. It's gonna delete all those rows. So when we're done and I take these filters off, as you'll see, we're only left with those that we have concern with. Okay, so now I'm going to highlight the whole thing and we're going to do some sorting. And we're going to sort these colors so that everything is bunched together in the way that it should be. The missed visits are together, the extra visits are bunched together, and they're all by district manager and district supervisor. So we're going to go to the sort, and remember before we already did this. We did division market assigned employee. Well, it's still like that. You see Anthony is still all right here in a row, but it's all bunched up and jumbled up. It's got different categories. So we're going to sort by color, cell color. Leave everything the way it is over here. We're just going to do this by cell color. And then click this down here. And I want to do, the first thing I want to do is miss visits. So I'm going to select yellow and click OK. Now you see all of Anthony's missed visits are bunched together, all of Glenn's missed visits, so on and so forth. So then we're going to take this and scroll down to where it starts the different colors again. And we're going to highlight down again. Um, Usually you'd see a lot of orange in here also. Those are short punches. But being that Wednesday was yesterday, there's almost no short punches. So I'm scrolling down to the bottom here, and we're going to do the same thing that we did a second ago. We're going to go to sort, and we're going to go with the green color which is what's up next. The green color is the extra visit. So we're going to change this order here. We're going to change the color to green. So green will be on top. But notice, it's only going to be on top for where we've highlighted. It's not going to touch these up here anymore. We're already done with that. Now we're doing everything below it. So we're going to sort to bring all the green ones up top, which are the extra visits. So click OK, and the green ones are all on top now. Okay, this isn't anything fancy. I think this is pretty basic stuff that I, stumbled on teaching myself. So this isn't a wowie zowie moment. It's probably very basic, and anybody that's really good at Excel will probably look at this and go, "This guy thinks he's doing something fantastic." That's not the case. I just know that I have to do this to keep everything separate. So we only had one short punch, so that's going to be in here somewhere. So we're going to highlight this down here again and try to put that one. There it was. I just saw it go by. So we're just going to do this one more time. And like I said, usually you'll have a lot more of these. All right. And then we're going to sort again. And this time the color we're going to put up top is the red color, which is the week visits, and click OK. Now that what that'll do more than anything is it'll put that last orange short punch at the bottom there, and it's only for one area. So now everything is in order. We're good to go on this. The only thing we need to do now is put it in a table so that we can send it to the DMs and Kyle. So you go to sheet 2 down here, click open sheet 2, click on that thing that highlights the whole page again, right click and delete. I delete that. That's how I do it. It's easier that way. Now what you have to do is you have to click into this A1 box that you're seeing right here. Now, this is important. This is something you may or may not have ever done or seen before. So you're going to go up here to insert, click that insert, then you're going to go to pivot table and click this pivot table. Okay. Now this box comes up. You're not going to do anything with it. You're not going to touch it right now or at all. You're going to go back over here to sheet 1. After that box pops up, you're going to go back to sheet 1. And you're going to start with A1 right here in division. You're going to left click and hold down, and you're going to go all the way to the right, and then you're going to go all the way to the bottom, and you're going to highlight the entire spreadsheet, everything that you've done on here. So down to the very bottom, no extra. You've got to do it exactly the way that is. Now you're going to click OK. Now that brings up, you're back on sheet 2 again. Okay, so what you got to do now is you're going to take the division, which is the district manager, and you're going to left click over that. I don't even use the check boxes, okay? That I don't, that's just not how I do it. Maybe some people do. I just left click down on division and I drag it down to row labels and drop it. And there you see it brings up your district manager names. Then I come back over here and you see it automatically went down a little bit because you've already selected divisions. But market, which is district supervisors, is what's next. I'm going to take that down and drag it below division. So there you go. Now you've got your district managers and you've got your supervisors listed all in a row going down. Now, after that, you're going to scroll down and you're going to start selecting your categories that we just did. I usually put the missed visits at the very end. You can do it however you want to. As long as it gets out there, that's the whole point. But I'm going to do it this way because it's the way that I'm accustomed to doing it. I usually start with open stores, and I drag that down to the values box. Then I go to major chain misses, and I drag that down to the values box. Short punches, drag it down. Extra visits, drag it down. Now, when you get down here to week visit, you start adding more on there. It looks like you're running out of room. Just sort of slowly drag it down there, get to the edge there on the bottom, and drop it. You'll know that it's where you wanted it to because it'll have a check next to it. All right, then I go back up, and the last three things, or the last things that I put on there, are the missed visits. So I go down there and carefully put that there. Oops, see, it didn't work. There's no check mark there. I dropped it too low. So I tried again and go down, drop it. There we go. Take Tuesday in there, drop it. There you go. Take Wednesday in there and drop it. Just below there, and it took. So if you look out to the right here, you'll see Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. It all went the way I wanted it to. The only thing I have to do now is this. I go right here into the top of this box and I change where it says row labels to DM/DS. And then on all of these, you can't leave these the way they are. You have to make a change to the name. So I go in here and in this area right here, I just slide over the top of that and I put in a pound symbol. So it says number of open stores. And then I go here I do the same thing. All I do is back over the part that every one of these says, which is count of or sum of, whatever. I highlight it and I put in a pound symbol. Same thing on each one of these. Highlight, put a pound symbol. And you've changed it in some way so that you can move on. I can't explain why you have to change it, you just do. So I just go through there and do that with each one of these. It's not that big a deal. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. And we're almost done, so let's keep going to finish that up. Okay, Tuesday misses. Done. Now, this thing is too far this way, so what I do is I start here. Either way, you go from one side to the other. You can change these that I've highlighted, but you can't change the main one. So on these, I've highlighted, and I'm going to click right click on these, and I'm going to go to Format Cells. And I'm going to do like I do with anything else on any other spreadsheet, and I want to wrap the text so that I can tighten this up a little bit. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So I click OK, and I'm going to drag that down a little bit, drag the whole header column down so that it's wider, and then this will make sense. So I highlight all those that way, and then I go between B and C. See, I've got the little cross there. If you got an arrow there and an arrow there, but if you get just between these two, you've got a cross with an arrow going both ways. So get it right there like that. Left click down, drag it over a little bit, maybe about like that, and let go. And you can see where all of them now have wrapped the text and made this shorter, or at least less wide. So now I'm just going to highlight all the way over and all the way down. And I'm going to put a grid on here because it looks better that way. And I'm going to center it because it looks better that way. And I'm going to justify the height because it looks better that way. Now, the other things that I do that you don't have to do because you probably will have already spent a lot of precious time on this to begin with is color these in the same color that we did on the inside of the spreadsheet. Major chain would be that purple. Again, you don't have to do this. Short punches is the orange. Extra visits is the green. Weak visits left is the red. And then all three of these are yellow. The only and other last thing that I do, and you don't have to do this either, is just highlight these where it says that where the DM is across, and then down here I would do it. But if you wanted to go through here and make these a different color to stand out, I do that so that the DM information stands out. And again, you don't have to do this. So if you wanted to, and I'm going to show you something else, but what I usually do is I'll take this information and go all the way down here and I'll highlight it and right click, copy, and then I go to Outlook, open a new email, right click, paste it to the body, and then I go back to my file and I usually go back to the main sheet. You can do it either way. You can save it on the main sheet or save it on the grid. It doesn't matter. Go to File, Save As. I go to my Missed Visits file, and I type it Missed Visits. This one I'm going to call it Video. And I'm just going to save it like that. Now, You could also, if you wanted to, you can't delete any of the stuff that's on this this table. But what you can do, if you wanted to tighten it down like I do to just the DM information, you can go in between the DMs, highlight all the way over, right click, and hide. Do this again between DMs, right click, hide. So on and so forth between the DMs, right click and hide. So that's up to you if you want to do that. It doesn't matter to me. It probably doesn't matter to Kyle. The main thing is to get the information out to the field. Um, and hopefully this video will be a help for you doing that. And that's it. That's how you run, or that's how I run the Missed Visits report.